Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, I'm once again taking a look at one of your designs that you recommended me on mod.io. And for today we are looking at another combat armor mech suit. And well, this thing seen right next to me is called the TCA-06 Leo Tactical Combat Armor, which is this lovely thing currently sitting plopped onto the ground. So grabbing hold my character, getting into the cockpit, ignoring what's going on over there, and into here, pressing number 6, and then we simply lift off the ground, and now we're ready to travel around, gliding across the surface in an almost hover-like fashion. So the free camera once again, round towards the front. I suppose we'll put it like so, press F10, find it in the spawn menu. The Leo Tactical Combat Armor is 234 small blocks, using the Heavy Industry, Decorative Block, Warfare 2, Wasteland, and Automaton's DLC packs. We see a massive bit of lore about it, which I'm not going to read out, but feel free to pause, as long as you've got an ad block installed. And of course down to there is our actual block count, which is just a little bit higher than what it states over here. I've never seen that before. Of course it's PCU and grid mass. So simply give us a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, then we'll go and test out the controls, drive around for a bit, then spawn in a few more enemies, go and test it out, because the gun, as you can see on its arms, are AI controlled, so you simply have to do nothing except point in a general direction, then lift up and down, move left and right, be able to target and blast that foe. So for the very front here, this is what we get, the TCA-06 Leo Tactical Combat Armor, and that is a industrial cockpit to drive it around, and it's been surrounded left and right hand side by some grey steel blocks with some spotlights to light up the darkness. Just below here we can see a bunch of atmospheric thrusters help slow this thing down, as well as 2 hinges coming across to our front legs that go all the way down to the ground to our suspensions with the wheels to sit slightly on their side. And back up to the front, there we go, all the way up to there we've got a lovely blue light, so we can act as a police vehicle, start flashing that, just chase after your enemies, then come around onto the side that has sunlight, round over to here, there we go, so there's our rear leg section, which will once again have some atmospheric thrusters, help boost us around, down to there's magnetic plates when the wheels come all the way down to the ground, there we go, we now lock that in place, very useful, you are going to load this up onto a land vehicle, or onto your ship to take it to another planet, let's come all the way back up, there we are. Moving up and looking around onto the armor itself, here we go. So you can see we've got a hinge all the way across to our gatling gun. We've got a cargo container below there to store the ammunition inside. Onto this section we've got a top mounted camera so you can see where we're aiming with this thing if we do want to do some precise shooting and not have the AI take over. There's of course our hinge comes across to our main body. Around onto the back of this thing. All the way around. And there we are. So bring the sunlight back around so we can get a better look at what's going on here. That'll do quite nicely. So yes, what we've got are 4 atmospheric thrusters. This time we do not have one in the middle down here because that's where our magnetic plate is currently sitting. But what we do get is an almost like battery pack at the back here using our flat atmospheric thrusters with 2 reactors in the middle. Now like I said before on a few other designs, I do absolutely love how the small reactor just connects up to these flat atmospheric thrusters with a rounded top so incredibly well, because while looking at it, it looks like it is one singular block. Anyways, behind there we've got our gyroscope to move this thing around, putting away once again. And there we are at the very back. Moving all the way up, looking down, there's our antenna to make sure we can always find this thing. There's a very good look at our arms, where the hinge comes across to our body, as well as the grey, red, and white steel blocks make up the armour of this vehicle. There's a little arrow that points towards our blue light, and of course our cockpits. Then moving down underneath this thing, there we go. There's a very clear view of our reactors, there's our gyroscope, there's our magnetic plate, then of course our hinges, how they connect with the main body, and a little bit of decoration in the form of some beam blocks that goes across to the main section where our cockpit is currently being sat down on. And with that, that's basically it for the outside of the Leo Combat Tactical Armor. And well, to me it looks like it would be something out of Robocop with the way it's been designed. I haven't actually watched that for many years now, but you kind of get what I mean by its police vehicle that chase around, it's got big guns on there, actually doing nice sort of damage to any criminals that come across to you. But anyway, grabbing hold of my character, first person view, this is what we get on the inside of our cockpit. So looking down we can see our weather, looking all the way up we think our target lock, our artificial horizon, our meters per second, power and hydrogen usage, then to a third person view, bring up the HUD, these are the controls we get. So largely outside of number 6 and number 7, which is going to be for our wheels to bring it all the way down, and of course to lock that hinge in place so it doesn't wobble around while it is locked down, we just largely ignore what's going on here and just let it do its thing. But if you do want to fiddle around with the controls, number 1 and number 2 is going to be to take it over your arms. This will give you direct control over them, so pressing number 2, we can move it all the way up, there we go, so we can shoot up into the sky, moving all the way back down, there we go, moving to the right, that's about as far as we can go, so it feels about 90 degrees from the actual main body, then all the way back to there, there's our cockpit, which is currently stopping the arm from moving all the way to the left. So we've got a good aiming radius of where we want to actually shoot our enemies. Coming out here into number 1, could be the exact same thing, but all the way around, shooting up at that mountainside. Then it goes all the way back down, all the way up, and there we go with that. Now, of course, if we want to, if we don't want to have the arm flailing around for whatever reason, we can press number 4, now lock the hinges in place. Now we've got a static gun, so we can now still shoot forwards, but if we want to, we now start to move the vehicle around, and we'll do some strafing runs, if that's what we want to do. Anyway, hopping out of that, pressing number 3, this could be for the AI to take over the guns. So now if we want to spawn in an enemy, it'll just simply start to blast into it. So hopping out of the cockpit, coming across over to, let's say, all the way behind it so it doesn't start shooting straight away. That's exactly what happened over there, because I was testing out the guns, make sure it was AI enabled. Then into here, pressing I, control panel, selecting everything, giving to the space pirates, there we go. Now come back into this one over here. We see that gun has now sensed danger, it really wants the blood of that vehicle. And while I was trying desperately to aim at it, into here, turning around. And there we go. First gun, second gun is now shooting it. We now just strafe around. We see how the guns are slowly moving itself around to make sure it can still target the enemy and blast it correctly. And of course, as we work the wibble and wobble, there we go with the guns, looking all the way down. There we are. And of course, we now just strafe all around, because that's the beauty of this type of wheel design. We just move all the way around, and just spin a full 360 around it while blasting it with the gatling guns. There we go. And of course, dodging that wreckage right there. Not too sure where the actual wheelbase has gone itself. Oh, there it is right there. Don't know why it's all the way over there. It's something to have a mind of its own. Now we just keep going all the way around. And it looks like it has been fully disabled. Oh no, it's got a little bit over there it needs to finish off. And there we are with that. Anyway, spinning back around, bring up the HUD. We've now got number 6, number 7, which we already talked about. Bring it down to the ground and lock it in place. Number 8 is in for your amp-soaked thrusters, turn them on and off. There we go. And of course, number 9 is a very useful one to reattach the wheels. So if you ever did damage the wheels on this thing, you simply press number 6, bring it all the way down to the ground, lock it in place. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. Press number 9 to reattach the wheels, weld it all up. Then press number 7, number 6, and away you go once again. A very handy thing to have, because you never know where you might actually be a bit too reckless with these things, and well, take the wheel off. And with that, that's basically it for all the controls of this thing, so it's time to drive this thing around, see how it handles, and I think that'll be that for this video. So locking the hinges in place, there we go, and now moving forwards, this is what we get. And of course with those 4 amp-soaked thrusters, we're not the fastest thing in the world, but we don't have to be, so we are going to be a assault vehicle, so we want to very carefully approach your target, make sure you don't bite off too much. Because in the first person view this is what it's like, it still feels very scary, but it's still very, very safe, no risk of this thing blowing up. And I just said that, we did a slight jump, and just blew up the vehicle. Let's go spawn it in one more time. So on the previous vehicle, I did something very, very silly, and that was not locking the legs, so when we did that big jump, the suspensions went too far, and the main body just slammed into the ground. But on this one, I have made sure to lock the legs, and we should be able to go up to some nice high speeds before anything dangerous starts to happen. Now this vehicle is a little bit top heavy, so we can't go all the way up to 100 meters per second, but hovering around 70 meters per second is perfectly fine, and what a lot better than a traditional vehicle, because unlike a traditional vehicle, we can just spin this full 360 and blast anyone trying to follow us, or we'll just catch them by surprise. That's one of the things that I do absolutely love about these types of vehicles, the wheels on their sides, just being able to spin all the way around, because it does not matter, and you do not need to worry about your turning circle, because it is basically instantly, as soon as you move the mouse around, you speed it up by strapping on some more gyroscopes. Yes, this thing is really fantastic for doing some light combats, although don't go up against the space pirate elbows because it will get shredded instantly by any kind of rocket launchers. That's the main weakness of these types of vehicles, especially with these types of legs. But as it stands, it's a fantastic little vehicle to do some light combat with, very good against enemy drones. You can just come up to it, blast it, strafe all the way around it, make it turn around because the drones are quite slow to actually turn themselves around to actually target you. That could be quite bad. No, it's not. Anyway, as for that, that's pretty much it for this vehicle and all it has to offer. It's just a fantastic little mech suit to use in your world. The really to is a good blow to download and play around yourself. Well, I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.